From year to year, month to month, week to week, and day to day, people across the world are obsessed with a phenomenon that is professional wrestling. But why? 101 Reasons to Love Professional Wrestling. There are many components of professional wrestling that should be both understood and celebrated, in no particular order. Iron Man matches. Of course, all comic book fans and most of the population by now know of the superhero known as Iron Man. Created by Stan Lee in 1963, Tony Stark was born as a new Marvel Comics icon. One of Black Sabbath's and all of rock music's best songs of all time is indeed Iron Man. Recorded in 1970, released in 1971, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward would unleash one of the catchiest and rawest heavy metal songs of all time. There is Cal Ripken Jr., known as the Iron Man, because of his insanely long streak of never missing a Major League Baseball game, breaking Lou Gehrig's record of 2,130 games seemed unbreakable, until this Hall of Famer broke the streak and surpassed it with 2,632 consecutive games played. The term Iron Man is often associated with the idea that someone has showcased a feat of endurance and defeated all odds. Then they do it again and again, maintaining the reputation of being someone who excels. Professional wrestling has its fair share of tests of endurance. The most common form of this is the classic Iron Man match. Two or even more opponents face off for a set amount of time, often 30 or 60 minutes, and whoever has the most wins at the end is declared the victor. Time is money. Commercials need to air, and promoters need to get on at least a decent amount of wrestlers on every card. Thus, the Iron Man match is reserved for oh-so-special occasions. The origins of the Iron Man match are debatable. Wrestling matches going back to the carnival days were long and brutal. Sometimes these bouts would be best out of 3 falls. Sometimes 2 performers would just go Broadway. Going Broadway is the backstage term for a match that goes for an hour, often with indecisive or controversial results. But the most wins in a certain time frame construct of an Iron Man match started off under the aptly named Marathon Match. The earliest on record were untelevised tag matches between the Rockers and the Fabulous Rougeau brothers. These would go an hour, with the Rockers winning the half-dozen or so of these spread-out matches during the WWF tour of 1989. WCW would adopt the match idea as well. In 1992 and 1993, Rick Rude would compete in 2 of these matches against Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes, respectively. In 1993, Bret the Hitman Hart would win his first WWF World title via an Iron Man match against Nature Boy Ric Flair. In 94, Bret Hart would defeat his brother Owen in a handful of house show matches that featured 60-minute Iron Man bouts. However, it would be WrestleMania 12 to put this match on the map. Bret Hart would take on Shawn Michaels in a 60-minute Iron Man match that main evented one of the biggest shows of all time. It would take an overtime, but the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels would realize his boyhood dream as he finally captured the beloved Winged Eagle version of the WWF World title. From there, every few years, illustrious Iron Man matches would pop up when rivalries were heated enough. Triple H and The Rock would square off in one at Judgment Day in 2000. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle had one on free television at a SmackDown in 2003. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels ran a 30-minute Iron Man on Raw in 2005. John Cena and Randy Orton had one at Bragging Rights in 2009. The most notable of recent Iron Man matches was in NXT as Bayley defeated Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Respect. It was only a 30-minute match, but is heralded as one of the best female matches in WWE history. Rightfully so, it was amazing. So many of these mentioned Iron Man matches and many others were also amazing. These matches are not exclusive to WWE. Tony Deppen and Jordan Oliver had a great Iron Man match at a GCW event in early 2021, and this Iron Man match went 2 hours. Deppen would also take on Trish Adora in 2021 for an intergender Iron match presented by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. While it's not as common as a ladder or cage match, these bouts still happen. When they do, it's best to just sit back and enjoy the ride. To be a professional wrestler, one must be ready for anything and endure physical hell, all for the love of wrestling. But an Iron Man match is a totally different level of endurance. You have to be ready to go the distance.